Shwmae a chroeso i Sgwrs, Podlediad Consortiwm Canolbarth y De. Yn y podlediad hwn byddwch chi'n clywed y trafodaethau diweddara am bob math o bethau addysg. Hello and welcome to Sgwrs, the Central South Consortium podcast. In this podcast we'll bring you the very latest discussions on all things education.
Hello, Bethan Davies ydw I, and I'm the Welsh Language Charter Officer for Central South Consortium. Today, I'm joined by three special guests from Ysgol Pen y Dre in Merthyr Tydfil.
Katie ydw I, rydym ddibrau prif ferch Ysgol Pen y Dre ac rydym aelod o'r crw Cymraeg. I am Katie. I am Deputy Head Girl of Pen y Dre High School and I am a member of the crew Cymraeg. Millie Ray ydw I, rydw i'n prif ferch yn Ysgol Uwchradd Pen y Dre. Rydw i'n rhan o Crw Cymraeg hefyd. My name is Millie Ray. I am head girl in Pen y Dre High School. I'm also part of the Crw Cymraeg.
A Mark Morgan ydw I, pennaeth yr adran Gymraeg yn Ysgol Pen y Dre. Rydw i wedi bod yn gweithio yn yr ysgol ers 2013 ac rydw i wedi bod yn pennaeth adran ers 2016. My name is Mark Morgan. I am the head of the Welsh department in Pen y Dre School. I have been working in the school since 2013 and I have been a head of department since 2016.
Fantastic, diolch. Croeso I benod arbennig yma o'r Sgwrs. Welcome to this special episode of Sgwrs. Now today we'll be discussing Pen y Dre's Cymraeg Campus journey. But before we get on to that, Mark, can you give us a bit of background information and context about Ysgol Pen y Dre?
Yeah, of course. Well, Ysgol Pen y Dre is a 11 to 16 school based in the North Merthyr area. It is located on the Gyrnos estate and the catchment area comprises of Gyrnos, Galan Uchaf, Pen y Daran, Dowlais, Pant and Cefn Coed. The school has increased its pupil numbers significantly in recent years. Intakes have increased from 110 pupils in 2017 to 225 in the current year 7 and a similar number beginning at Pen y Dre in September 2021. There is little to no Welsh spoken within the communities of the catchment areas and none of the parents of the pupils in Pen y Dre are Welsh speakers.
Now I have to say, llongyfarchiadau enfawr. Huge congratulations to Ysgol Pen y Dre for becoming the first school in Central South Consortium and in Wales to achieve the Cymraeg Campus Gold Award. What a fantastic triumph. How does it feel to have had this amazing achievement?
To be honest, being the first school to achieve the award is the best feeling. We are such a dedicated school and we all put a lot of effort into Siarter Iaith. Pen y Dre feels it's important to enjoy learning and speaking Welsh and we encourage other schools to do the same. It's amazing to be recognised for the hard work we have all put in towards improving the use of the Welsh language at Pen y Dre.
Diolch, Millie. Now, Mark, your success isn't something that has happened overnight. Tell us a bit more about the development of Cymraeg in the school.
Yeah, well, the school has always had a respect for the Welsh language and traditions, holding an annual school Eisteddfod and promoting Welsh as a living language. Despite this, however, in 2013, only 5 pupils were studying Welsh second language in year 11, and results showed a 60% pass rate. Throughout the period 2013 to 2015, numbers taking the subject as an option increased to 30, and with the advent of the subject becoming mandatory, the momentum has continued. In the last 5 academic years, the school has seen pass rates of between 96 and 100% A star to C GCSE grades for successive year 11 cohorts. Fundamental to this success has been high expectations and the consistent message of Welsh as so much more than just a GCSE subject. We have provided a wide array of extracurricular opportunities in Welsh, ranging from competing at county and national Urdd Eisteddfodau, competing in Urdd sporting competitions, being a leading Cymraeg bob dydd school, running yearly trips to the Urdd centres in Llangrannog, Llangllyn and Cardiff, and working closely on regular projects with Mentor Iaith Merthyr and the local Urdd branch. Also welcoming all opportunities to engage in activities centred around Welsh in the local and wider community. This academic success and extracurricular provision has seen Welsh at the forefront of the school offer. Today, Welsh is visible everywhere in school. Pupils respect and take the opportunity to use our language around school, and there is a tangible feeling of Cymraegdod wherever you go on the site.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Mark, when you said about, there's a feeling of Cymraegdod wherever you go within the school. And I think that's one of the key messages with Cymraeg Campus and Siarad Iaith, is that it's not something that the head of Welsh is solely responsible for. It has to be a whole school approach, not only the pupils, but every member of staff. Has it been a challenge to get the members of staff and pupils on board with Cymraeg?
Well, obviously within an English medium secondary school, there are a myriad of priorities, all jostling for the attention they deserve. It hasn't been easy to gain the level of whole school support we currently enjoy. There is no doubt the success and engagement of our pupils has influenced teaching and admin staff, who in turn have shown passion and great commitment in developing their own Welsh language skills. The Sgwrs Iaith award process has undoubtedly added an extra dimension to the cross-curricular support for Welsh within the school. We do not for 1 minute claim to have all pupils and staff fully engaged and invested in Welsh, but we are continuing to improve on this. Our cross-curricular approach has helped to develop confidence in using Welsh through music, art, drama and other subjects. This provides real support to us in the department in regard to the change of attitudes among such pupils in their subsequent Welsh lessons.
At the centre of the success of Pen y Dre has been a dedicated, enthusiastic and hard-working crew Cymraeg. Millie and Katie, for those who don't know, what is a crew Cymraeg and how has the crew Cymraeg played such an important role within your school?
Yeah, the Crew Cymraeg is a group of pupils from all year groups who aim to promote the use of Welsh as much as possible throughout school. We've organised the bilingual sports club for Year 7, which has helped us and the pupils gain confidence in speaking Welsh. The Crew Cymraeg has helped play a very important role in increasing the knowledge of all pupils and staff on Welsh history and making sure that the Welsh is a part of everything we do at Pen y Dre.
Fantastic. Now, obviously you spoke earlier, Mark, about getting the staff and pupils on board. How have you ensured the Cymraeg Campus has been a whole school approach, that it's not only something that has been utilised within Welsh lessons, that it's been something that happens across all departments within the school?
Well, in addition and as well as the Crew Cymraeg, we are very proud that we have an organisation called the Gyntaf Cymraeg at Pen y Dre. This group currently has a membership of 175 based on current and former staff, former pupils and friends and community partners. Within this organisation, we have a core of current working staff who work daily to improve Welsh within the school. It is of course essential that we have the full support of our head teacher, SLT and governors, and we have a dedicated Sgwrs Iaith governor, and all governors are fully aware and supportive of our journey with Welsh. This support filters down with faculty departmental Welsh representatives. These are passionate members of the Gyntaf Cymraeg, into whole staff work on inset days, celebration events, and finally, and most importantly, from the Crew Cymraeg out to all pupils within Pen y Dre and the wider cluster.
I'm looking forward to receiving my Gyntaf Cymraeg membership card through the post very soon, Mark. Now, we spoke there about having a Cymraeg Campus Link governor. How have you involved stakeholders and the wider community in Cymraeg Campus?
Well, some of our parents and all of our governors are members of the Gyntaf Cymraeg. And over recent years, the adventures and success that some of our pupils have enjoyed through Eisteddfod trips and residential trips have captured the imagination and earned the respect from parents within our catchment area. This then translates into an open and widespread admiration for the work put into improving Welsh within the Pen y Dre cluster. Our cluster parents come and see our cluster Eisteddfod, and even before their child starts at Pen y Dre, gain an understanding of what it is we are trying to achieve. Parents are invited and attend our quiz nights based on Welsh and Wales, and are regularly kept up to date with new plans within the school for the continuing development of Welsh, not least of course through our school social media.
Now you touched there, Mark, on the school's social media, and it is truly a joy to scroll through Twitter on a daily basis and to see how much Welsh is used on the numerous Pen y Dre Twitter accounts. Your Twitter feed is full of Welsh. How significant has social media been in sharing with the school's wider community?
Well, extremely significant, if we are to be honest. The use of so much Welsh on our social media is without doubt a great source of pride to us at Pen y Dre. It's promoted by the vast majority of school Twitter accounts, and it's fantastic for our pupils to see Welsh being the dominant language in communication from all departments across the school. In turn, of course, it helps staff who are learning Welsh develop their confidence, vocabulary and reading writing skills, and also their speaking skills in the many whole school staff videos we create. The use of so much Welsh across our social media accounts has attracted new friends and partners who have further helped us to promote Welsh across the school and wider community.
And if you would like to see how Pen y Dre utilise Twitter, please follow at Pen y Dre Cymraeg and at Crew PYD for the latest information on Pen y Dre's Cymraeg journey. Now, involving your cluster schools has been an important part of your Cymraeg Campus journey so far. Can you tell us a bit more about the events you organise for schools in the Pen y Dre cluster?
With the cluster schools, we try our best to involve them in many activities. Each year we have a cluster Eisteddfod where each school competes. It is enjoyable for all. I competed in these when I was in primary school and I found it amazing. We also organise an annual trip to Llangrannog where the cluster schools can interact with Pen y Dre pupils over the course of a weekend, engaging in fun activities and learning more about Pen y Dre.
And if I may add there, Bethan, in terms of that cluster school Eisteddfod, what they physically see when they come up is they see Pen y Dre pupils in year 9, 10 and 11 actually running the event for them. So they are presenting the competitions, they are recording the results, and they are presenting the certificates and the medals. So straight away we have that element of role modelling where these pupils, and they come up and stand on the stage from as young as year 2 from our cluster schools, look up to not only the head boy, head girls and deputies, but all members of the school who are there running the Eisteddfod that day, and obviously would like to be like them and would like to have that level of Welsh. We do engage a great deal with our cluster schools, and we keep track of their own individual Welsh stories. And we know and celebrated recently, one of our cluster schools has just received the Taith Bronze Award, and the others are very much on the way to doing so. And last week we had the privilege of going out to present awards within the cluster schools for our Seren Cymraeg, or Ser Cymraeg, our Welsh stars throughout the year. And again, these were throughout the schools in terms of from years 1 all the way up to year 6. So our Llangrannog trip is really popular in terms of the fact that we go as a cluster with pupils from year 7 and 8. They get to meet the Welsh staff, they get to meet pupils from year 7 and 8 and feel really confident. That takes place in July when they arrive up here in September. So that's another really, really strong Welsh element through our transition programme.
Fantastic, and I think it's lovely there, Mark, that you touched upon the fact that a number of these events and activities are organised by your pupils, and I think from being visiting your school, it's very clear that the ownership is there with your pupils. It's not something that you are running within the school. It's obvious that the pupils have got the responsibility with Cymraeg and organising the Eisteddfod and the sports clubs and everything, and they really have that sense of ownership, which is key really to the success of Cymraeg and Cymraeg Campus within the school. How have you used outside agencies like the Ardd and Mentor Iaith to support your Cymraeg Campus journey?
Okay, well, this has been a massive part of our journey. In truth, support from the outside agencies has been fundamental to the success of our developments with Welsh outside the classroom. We are fortunate to enjoy excellent relationships with the Ardd, both nationally and locally, and Mentor Iaith Merthyr in particular, but also we've developed strong working relationships with Cardiff University in recent years. We work continuously with the Urdd. Obviously, we have a big focus on preparing for and competing in the Eisteddfod, but the relationship is there throughout the year. Most recently, the Crew Cymraeg held a meeting with the local Urdd officer and managed to gain sponsorship and financial support to start a Clwb Chwaraeon ar Urdd within Pen y Dre, which is run solely by our Crew Cymraeg pupils. Now, this has been a huge success in terms of numbers attending. We recently held a end of term competition with over 70 pupils taking part, all listening to, understanding and using a little bit of ever increasing Welsh. But it's that competitive element as well, and this awareness of Welsh being linked with physical activity and enjoyment and a wider understanding of the Urdd and what it's got to offer. And that's a real sort of blue ribbon event that many schools could emulate in terms of creating an in-school facility like that, and I know the Urdd would support that. They also compete in the Urdd sporting competitions, particularly the rugby sevens, and enjoyed some success not only in the high school Pen y Dre but in our cluster schools over the years. And when you take every opportunity to take part in as many collaborative events as possible. We were involved recently in the Urdd TG Lurgan project, which is a similar organisation to the Urdd in Ireland. On both of those events we were represented in singing and dancing. We recently supported the Urdd initiative, the Peace and Goodwill message, which was widely appreciated and supported. And we are also taking part in the current Urdd campaign to encourage more girls to play sport. Now, we get a lot back from that, obviously. Our pupils have such amazing experiences from our engagement with the Urdd and the travels over the years. We started competing, I believe, in 2014 in Abala, and have been at every competition, every Urdd national Eisteddfod since then, including the ones online in recent years, and very much look forward to going back to competing up in Dinbych in Gogledd Cymru next year. So the Urdd have been fantastic to us, and I know they also get a lot out of what we contribute in terms of the relationship. But we also work really closely with Mentor Iaith Merthyr. We've regularly performed at St David's Day concerts down in this Canolfan Sowa, the Welsh Language Centre in town, quiz nights, and regularly have staff from Mentor Iaith Merthyr conducting courses in school, and these have ranged from conversational courses, which the latest one has just finished last week for our Year 8 pupils, and also on creative writing courses for some of our more able and talented pupils in Year 7. Now, these are obviously new faces to our pupils. They speak Welsh, they enthuse about Welsh, and they reinforce the message that Welsh is every day, everywhere. So without a doubt, in terms of Cymraeg Campus or in terms of whole school bilingualism, interaction and really good support from outside agencies is fundamental.
I agree there, Mark, and I think it's key when you said, it's Welsh is every day, everywhere, and it's giving your pupils the opportunity to see that Welsh is not only a language to be used within Welsh lessons, it's across the school, but also in a social way that they can use it in the Eisteddfod and outside school within the wider community in Merthyr. So it's lovely to hear how you've utilised the Urdd and Mentor Merthyr to help you, but also how you've helped them. And I think it's lovely to see the partnership that you have with these outside agencies. Now, Katie and Millie, obviously you've spoke about your roles within the Crew Cymraeg. Do you see Cymraeg as part of your future?
Yeah, definitely. I want to study A-level Welsh in college and then become fluent so I can use it in my everyday life, both in my occupation and socially.
Fantastic.
Yes, in the future, I would like to study A-level Welsh also, because I feel it's important to speak our country's native language. I also think it would help me to get my dream job, which is a doctor. I would love to be totally fluent and use more Welsh around my family and friends.
Ardderchog, it's so lovely to hear that you both see Cymraeg as an important part of your futures. It's obvious that the foundation that you've received at Pen y Dre will be with you forever. We've spoken about your tremendous success with Cymraeg Campus. What comes next, Mark? What are the next steps for you as a school?
Oh, cwestiwn da. So, well, reinforcing everything that we're in. So our aims is to provide as many courses and opportunities for our staff who are very passionate to have continue in September now with in-school lessons, out-school lessons. They've all signed up again with Dysgu Morgannwg and in even greater numbers. And I suppose really, I was going through this question the other day with some members of staff in school. The next steps for us is to ever increase the bilingual nature of our community. So I'll be meeting with the local authority next week. And some of the plans we're going to discuss is how can we make it more normal and more visual for our pupils to see Welsh outside school. So we have a youth club, for example, down the bottom of our hill on the school site. And we're hoping to turn that into a bilingual, predominantly Welsh medium youth club, where activities would take place. We have some fantastic sporting facilities in school, and we've talked about the sports club that we offer. But we're looking for a community offer where our pupils from the catchment area would come up to the youth club and just take to Welsh. They would come in and they would do the activities, they would see the signs, even as basic as the shop in the youth club, where everything is labelled up in Welsh. And they have the appetite for it, and they would take to it, and it would just become more normal. And they should have massive effects for us in terms of teaching Welsh as a subject in school. The more they could see, then the more they could become immersed in it. It's obviously going to be a massive advantage, and we don't have that, unfortunately, in the area at the moment. So that's one facet of how we're going to try and improve. We are also trying to increase the amount of Welsh that is taught both academically and incidentally within our cluster. And this will provide another massive benefit to our pupils. Just that period, there's that time of having maybe a little more each day, building up so it becomes natural to them. Their assemblies are delivered more in Welsh. It's a huge undertaking what we're trying to achieve next, and we're really honest about that. It would need a massive amount of support from our partners who we've mentioned today, from the local authority. But I suppose, really, we've come so far, and my sort of desire and my dream and my passion would be for it to be a completely bilingual environment as much as possible. So they're comfortable in Welsh and English in the primary schools. They come up here, the level of Welsh they would then attain in the secondary school would fly through the roof. They would go to these facilities outside school, and they would have the opportunity to do them in Welsh. Hand in hand with everything else we talk about, our Llangrannog trips, our Grantlin trips, our Cardiff trips, the Eisteddfod, then we really are, I think, moving towards a offer where we would achieve what I would always want to achieve, where at 16, we are leaving with truly bilingual pupils. And I say to them in year 7, and I always say that you are bilingual, and they are bilingual to me and to us, and they always will be, because they have an open attitude and a respect for the Welsh language, and they speak some Welsh. So to me, they'll always be bilingual pupils. And even in year 10 and 11, I talk about it's great that you're passing GCSE Welsh exams, of course, right? If you like, that's my core job in one way. But I'm more interested, if I'm really honest, in pupils leaving with an understanding of they can use Welsh, albeit at different levels, and it's just not closed off then, so that when they go out of the door, that's it. I've got my qualification, but I don't use it. So they might come back to it. Many, hopefully, and increasing numbers will go on to study A-level Welsh. Some may come back to it on adult courses, and that's another thing of what we're trying to achieve now over the meetings over the next couple of weeks. So these facilities down the bottom of the school, the youth clubs, we know there are facilities for learning Welsh within the area, but we try to localise them a little bit more and offer them within the youth club, which is the bottom of our school, for our parents and our staff. So we're all in that kind of learning bubble, if you like, which feeds back into what we're trying to achieve in school. And then put another facility at the other half of our catchment area, which is the sort of Dowlais and Gelli Faelog, Pantasgallog area, and move forward together. We're lucky. We have staff within all our schools are open to it and understand it. I think we just need to almost prod each other on to the next step now, where Welsh becomes a real focus for all of us. And then the results would be remarkable within a short few years. So that's the vision. That's what we're looking to take forward. It'll always be step by step, small bit at a time, but the rewards could be magnificent.
Gwych, ardderchog. Some really exciting plans there, Mark, and it's lovely to hear that, for Ysgol Pen y Dre, the Cymraeg Campus Gold Award hasn't been a tick in a box and something that's been achieved and now it's going to be the certificates on the wall and everything's forgotten. It's obvious that it's an integral part of school life, and there's some really, really exciting plans to keep progressing with Cymreicdod and bilingualism within the school. So it's really lovely to hear those plans there. Any top tips for any schools that are starting on the Cymraeg Campus journey or working towards their bronze, silver or gold award currently?
Yeah, I think definitely start small and set aspirations for you to achieve. You could do the Gair Wythnos, which is the word of the week, and use bilingual keyword posters for subjects. I think that's one of the main things that's helped people. And you 100% need a whole school attitude towards Welsh because it encourages us and others to participate. I think you should get everyone involved and celebrate all the activities that you do using Welsh and celebrating Welsh history and culture. Uwch amdani. I think just go for it. And we are here to help you if you need us.
And maybe, then if I could just, I think we're coming towards the end now, just to sort of clarify that within the school, and you touched upon it at the start, saying it's not the head of Welsh job primarily. We have staff all along the school, from drama to music to art to history to science to English to maths, including staff who were born and raised and educated in England, who play a massive role weekly in these. We have maths challenges, words of the week, competitions for parents, and then some other maybe higher profile events that we've discussed during this. Well, they all add up and everybody finds a different bite, if you like, or a different hook to get involved in within the school. So some of our most vulnerable pupils who do struggle with confidence in Welsh find a way into Welsh through art. We have an amazing art teacher, Mr. Griffiths, who every day promotes Welsh, both on the school media, but in everything he does by now, and is doing amazingly well in his personal journey of learning Welsh. And also, my advice to schools would be take stock and realise how much you do, because I would be surprised if there are schools who don't do Eisteddfods, they don't recognise doing a Chymai, they don't do something at St David's Day or at Christmas or Nadolig and all of these things. Well, they're all part of it. Now, yes, you need that overarching support and you need a whole school appetite to do it. But the first thing to do really is to tick off what we're doing already. And that will put most schools, I think, fairly way down the track towards the requirements for the Bronze Award. Then there needs that concerted effort from everybody to really galvanise and do it as a whole school community. And we'd be more than happy. We've spoken to some schools, we've had some schools visit us, and we'd be more than happy. We are not the answer to everything, the be all and end all, and we'd never claim to be. But if they could gain anything from us, then any of the schools would be more than welcome to visit us. You can contact us, come up to school in September when COVID will allow, or any resources, just you need to ask us. But embrace it really is what we'd say, because we're all capable of achieving this, and the more of us who do it, the more the pupils get out of it and the more confident they feel, and that can only be for the best.
That's very true, Mark. Many schools are celebrating Diwrnod Siamai and Dydd Music Cymru and also holding a school Eisteddfod, so they are already hitting the Bronze Award outcomes. There's only one thing left for me to say today to end our sgwrs, and that is diolch yn fawr to the three of you, to Mark, to Katie and to Millie Ray. It's been a pleasure to chat to you all and to hear about your incredible Cymraeg Campus achievement. To finish, as Katie said, the most important message from me would be ewch amdani, go for it. You'll be very surprised as you begin to implement Cymraeg Campus in your school, how much you actually do already and how far down the line you are towards your Bronze Award. If you'd like more information about Cymraeg Campus, please contact myself on bethan.davis2@cscjes.org.uk. Diolch yn fawr I chi gyd am wrando.
Diolch am wrando ar y benod hon o sgwrs. Cofiwch ein dilyn ar Twitter a Facebook, tan ysgrifio ein sianel YouTube, ymuno yn cymunedau ar ein gwefan a darllen ein bwletin ysgolion wythnosol am y newyddion diweddaraf. Thanks for listening to this episode of Sgwrs. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, join our online communities via our website, and read our weekly school bulletin for the latest news. Hwyl am y tro. Bye for now.